It is Thursday, the 16th the day of November 2023. Many thanks for joining us right here at Lookuptv. My name is John Matava. We have a lot for you tonight, including police arrest a bandit that is in Baringo County. That, of course, and much more coming up just after the highlights.
Tonight, tuko hapa leo kwa sababu ya kuwajulisha kwamba tuko na bandit moja ambaye tumeshika.
The main suspect behind banditry attacks in the North Rift region has been arrested.
Kwa kila lita ambayo unanunua kuna shilingi 30 ambayo imewekwa zaidi juu yake. Na hiyo inakuliwa na hao watu katikati yao. Ndio RUTO utuambie sisi hao watu ni kina nani.
Azimio Chief Raila Odinga slumps government over the G2G fuel deal, saying key politicians are benefiting from the scrapless deal. And
this House approves the deployment of the officers of the National Police Service to the multinational security support mission to Haiti.
The National Assembly has given green light for the Haiti deployment that will see 1,000 security officers sent to the Caribbean nation.
Welcome to the program tonight. My name is John Matava. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Philista Adundo. Let's get started. Police have arrested a suspected bandit in Kapedo, Tieti Sub-County and Baringo County, recovering 2 guns and 15 rounds of ammunition in the process. The suspect, Lonyangapat Amerinyang, has been on the police radar for the last 4 years now and is believed to be the mastermind of the spate of banditry in the North Rift region.
Tuko hapa leo kwa sababu ya kuwajulisha kwamba tuko na bandit moja ambaye tumeshika, anaitwa Lonyangapat Perinyang, miaka 20, kutoka kule Akoret. Kupitia intelligence tumeweza kumkamata. He has been on our radar for the last 4 years. North Rift amehusika vitendo vya banditry pande ya Baringo, pande ya Samburu, pande ya Turukana, na vile nimesema kupitia intelligence yetu multi agency tuliweza kumshika kule pande ya Kapedo,
lakini pia ametusaidia na information ambayo tunaamini kwamba tutaweza kupata bunduki zingine mingi. Pia ijulikane for the last 2 weeks tumeweza kupata our bandit watatu na moja ambaye tulipata pale Loluk. Mjua pale Loluk tumekuwa na issues na tuliweza kushika moja hapo ambaye amekuwa kihusika na ng'ombe, na in fact tukapata ng'ombe kwao. Mwingine tumepata upande wa Arbal, area Arbal, na tukalikava pia bunduki. Huyu naye watatu sasa na bunduki 3 so far. So kwa hivyo ni progress mzuri kwa hiyo operation ambayo inaendelea North Rift.
Away from that, the name Ann Njeri has hit the headlines in the recent days over the 17 million worth of fuel docked at the Mombasa port. But who is Ann Njeri? In an address to the media, Azimio leader Raila Odinga has dismissed Njeri as the owner of the controversial fuel cargo, saying that she is just a scapegoat of being for borrowing used by the senior government officials to run illegal fuel deals on their behalf, even as Njeri continues to claim ownership of the 100,000 metric tons of fuel.
As questions continue to linger regarding the 17 billion worth of fuel docked at Mombasa port, who is Ann Njeri Njoroge, and is she the genuine owner of Ann's import and exports, and under what illegality does the business operate? Behind this scandal lies the name Ann, who is the alleged proprietor of Ann's Import and Exports Enterprises Limited, a company which he used to import fuel, having been in the business for at least 30 years. In a press briefing today, Azimio boss Raila Odinga refuted claims that Ann is the owner of the multi-billion business.
Huyo mama mafuta so mamona na unajua biashara ya mafuta, unajua gharama yake, pesa ambayo inatakikana ufanye biashara ya mafuta bilioni 17. Angalia sura yake kama yeye au anawakilisha watu wengine.
According to Odinga, Ann is just a scapegoat used by some people to expedite some hidden deals.
Mbona kama kuna shida, mtu anashikwa usiku, anafungwa macho. Kwa sababu gani? Kama jamaa hajaiba, hajafanya chochote, kama hata yeye ni mwizi, mbona ashikwe mchana na apeleke mahakamani? Ni wao. Wezi wawili wanashikana peke yao.
Odinga now wants the president to come out clear and tell Kenyans the whole truth about the matter.
Hiyo inakuliwa na hao watu katikati yao. Ndio tumewaambia Bwana Ruto, utuambie sisi hao watu ni kina nani. Na kwa hiyo unawajua, wewe ndio uliwaweka pale. Kwa sababu gani umeweka hao pale? Wananchi wanaumia hapa chini.
On Tuesday, after presenting herself in court, insisted that she is the owner of Ant's import and exports when claiming ownership of the said 17 billion worth of fuel. Mavin Getembe, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Thank you so much, Mavin, for that story. Away from that, the Azimio la Umoja coalition leader Raila Odinga has called out to the government over the current price of oil, claiming that the current price of oil has been inflated by 30 shillings as a result of the government's shady oil deal. Odinga noted that a cartel within the government benefits from the 30% price increase, while Kenyans continue to bear with high fuel prices in the country. Odinga, while addressing the media today, issued a 10-point ultimatum to the government, including the complete cessation of government-to-government oil dealings.
Just a few days after questioning President William Ruto over the government-to-government fuel deal, opposition leader Raila Odinga has today castigated the government over the deal, while accusing senior government officials of directly pocketing millions of money from the deal as Kenyans continue to struggle. Odinga took the opportunity to slam President Ruto for what he termed as lying to the public, as there was no G2G fuel deal.
There was no G2G. Kenya government did not sign any contract with Saudi Arabia. Only the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum signed a deal with the state-owned petroleum companies in the Middle East. Why Ruto chose to characterize the deal as a G2G is the first red flag that points to mischief in this deal. We now know that the characterization of this deal as a G2G was meant to shield the three Kenyan companies from paying the 30% corporate tax.
With the Oryx, Gulf and Galana oil companies having been given the mandate to import oil products, Odinga raised questions regarding the agreements between the companies and the government and why fuel prices skyrocketed by 17% immediately the deal was signed.
Well, the deal was a scam for which we now demand full disclosure and full accountability. 4 months after the deal, the government allowed Oryx Energies to sell oil at prices that had been inflated by 17%.
Aside from the ever-rising cost of fuel, Odinga blamed senior government officials over the move by landlocked countries like Uganda, who opted to source fuel from elsewhere, while calling on the government to make public the details of the deal with the Saudi Arabian companies.
The supplier purchase agreement between the Middle East oil firms and the hand-picked distributors in Kenya has never been seen. We challenge Mr. Ruto to publish this document.
As the row regarding the importation of fuel in the government-to-government fuel deal continues, Odinga issued ultimatums to the government, top among them the cancellation of the G2G fuel deal and revert back to the open tender system, the restoration of taxes on fuel commodities back to 8% down from the current 16%. The government must make public the MOU between Kenya and Saudi Arabia. The government must publish the agreement between them and the three oil companies. Odinga also wants DCI to investigate the tax compliance status and pricing model of the three oil companies. As well, Odinga says EACC must conduct investigations regarding the fuel deal. The opposition chief also wants those behind the scrupulous deal to be surcharged and sacked. Yankitani, Lookuptv.
In response to the fuel dossier by Azimio Chief Raila Odinga, leaders allied from Kenya Kwanza, led by Majority Leader Kimani Ichung'wah, have slammed Odinga over the claims of government officials reaping big from the deal at the expense of Kenyans. The legislators now want Odinga to come out clear on the issue of fuel importation, claiming that the opposition wants to drive fake narratives meant to incite Kenyans against the government, further defending the three companies in the importation deal.
There is a signed contract between the Ministry of Petroleum in Kenya and state-owned petroleum companies from Saudi Arabia and UAE. Our question, therefore, to Mr. Odinga is what further definition of government to government would this be seeking if a contract signed between a state-owned enterprise in Saudi Arabia and one in UAE and a state ministry in Kenya is not government to government? What then is his new definition of government to government? Because this contract is signed, as he asserted himself, between the state-owned enterprises and the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy in Kenya. Mr. Odinga alleges that the characterization of the oil deal as G2G, or government to government, was meant to shield some 3 Kenyan companies from paying 30% corporate tax. We are here today, Mr. Odinga, to adduce any evidence that any of the 3 companies have not been remitting their taxes, not just corporate tax, but all other taxes that are due from them. We will dare Mr. Odinga to adduce such evidence if what he was saying was not hot air, as we say, and political propaganda. But also maybe for the benefit of Mr. Odinga and his ilk, the 3 companies, that is Gulf Energy, Galana Oil, Kenya Limited, and Oryx Energies Limited, are not agents of the Kenya government and are not doing logistics on behalf of the Kenya government. These are agencies or agents appointed by Aramco and ADNOC, the 2 state-owned enterprises in Saudi Arabia and UAE, to act on their behalf to deal with local logistics. And indeed, since Mr. Odinga is in the oil industry business, he is aware that these 3 companies, even under the old OTC system, they were the leading companies in oil importation in this country. And indeed, 80% of all the oil that was imported into this country was being...
That story takes us on a quick commercial break right here on Lookuptv. We'll be back with more news for you. Stay around.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Kipindi ni ukulima ni mali na Manjoro. Kumbuka hapa ndipo unajifunza mambo mengi kuhusu ukulima. Kilimo ni uti wa mgongo wa nchi, na ukiwa na Njoro unajifunza. Kumbuka, angalia mwenyewe. Tunakuambia ukitaka kujua tips za ukulima, ungana na sisi kwenye Lookuptv. Every Sunday unatukuta pale saa 10, tunakuonesha kuhusu ukulima. Ukulima wa mimea, ukulima wa ng'ombe, ukulima wa kuku, ukulima wa mbuzi na yote ambayo yanahusiana na ukulima. Kumbuka nini? Kipindi ni ukulima ni mali.
Welcome back to the program. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Philista Adundo. My name is John Matava. The government is set to increase the salaries for the National Police Service and National Youth Service and the Kenya Prison Service offices by 40% over the next 3 years. This follows an announcement by President William RUTO after receiving the recommendation of the task force on the police reforms chaired by former Chief Justice David Maraga at State House in Nairobi. The President lauded the recommendation and made by the Maraga team, saying the move would be vital in restoring the integrity, efficiency and accountability in the security forces.
The government shall increase the salaries for the National Police Service, National Youth Service and Kenya Prison Service officers by 40% over the next 3 years. This has been confirmed after President William Ruto made the announcement on Thursday after receiving the recommendations of the task force on police reforms chaired by former Chief Justice David Maraga at State House in Nairobi.
We are therefore going to pay attention and great attention to the numerous well-considered recommendations made by the task force. Necessary changes to important instruments and measures, including policy, strategic, legislative, and operational frameworks, shall be implemented by the government in line with the recommendations made by the task force.
Agreeing with the recommendations made by the 20-member National Task Force, he ascertained that the move would be vital in restoring integrity, efficiency, and accountability in the security forces.
This task force, led by our able chairman, retired Chief Justice David Maraga, was charged with the assignment to identify the legal, policy, administrative, institutional, and operational constraints to effective service delivery by these services. These efforts have, at best, produced only minimal positive change. As a result, the weakness in the security services have grown to major challenges, which have further devolved into a threat to the integrity, efficiency, security, and public trust in the security agencies, and by extension, eroded their trust in the government's ability to guarantee the most basic right, the security of persons and their property.
The Maraga-led team on improvement of terms and conditions of service and other reforms for members of the National Police Service and Kenya Prison Service envisioned quality policing services for a safe and secure Kenya through strengthening capacity among policing institutions to address institutional and people-centered reforms.
We pledged to transform our security services and to increase the state's capacity to protect the people, their belongings, their freedom, and their interests, to create an appropriate environment for enterprise, investment, commerce, and industry. The reforms are also intended to ensure that the gallant men and women in uniform who have committed themselves to the highly challenging and often risky career for the sake of keeping Kenya safe are accorded the respect, support, facilitation, and recognition that they do very well deserve.
Ruga Ival, Lookuptv.
Thank you so much, Rugaival, for that story. Away from that, the National Assembly today approved a bill to send 1,000 officers to Haiti to fight terror gangs. This after a motion was tabled in the House of Parliament today, early this morning, before the legislators voted on the bill, with majority supporting the deployment. The deployment is estimated to cost a whopping 91 billion Kenyan shillings.
Regarding the deployment of officers of the National Police Service to the Multinational Security Support Mission to Haiti, laid on the table of this House on Wednesday, 15th November.
After months of debating whether Kenya should send security officers to Haiti, with various leaders questioning why officers should be sent on a security mission abroad, while Kenya continues to grapple with cases of insecurity, the National Assembly has today approved the deployment of 1,000 police officers to Haiti, a mission that Kenyan forces will be leading.
To Haiti. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it.
Despite reservations from various opposition leaders, those allied to Kenya Kwanza defended the deployment, led by Majority Leader in Parliament Kimani Ichung'wah, who noted that the mission was a true revelation of Kenya's recognition across the globe after leading several security missions within the continent.
And black people. Therefore, I just wanted, Honorable Speaker, to begin by disabusing that notion that it is a Kenyan mission. It is a multinational security support mission which Kenya is honored to lead. And as patriotic leaders, as Kenyan patriots, we cannot stand in our own National Assembly and say that we are using our officers, who are very patriotic young men and women who have given their lives to protect life and property of Kenyans and people of the world where they may be deployed. And like the doctors affirm what do you call it, Dr. Nyika? The Hippocratic Oath or something close to that. Our police officers and armed security men take an oath to defend life and to serve their nation anywhere they may be deployed, including being deployed in the residence of our leaders like Opio and I.
The exercise, which is estimated to cost about 91 billion Kenyan shillings, was condemned by Minority Leader Opio and I, noting that it was wrong for Kenya to send troops to Haiti while the security situation in the country continues to deteriorate.
Are we the only black people in this world, us and Haitians? What kind of nonsense is this? Very parliamentary. Because you cannot lead us to indulge in an illegality at the altar of rent seeking.
John Matava, Lookuptv.
Barely a week after surviving a second impeachment trial in 1 year, Meru Governor Kawira Mwangaza now says she will support calls to have the county government dissolved. Mwangaza noted that she is ready and willing to seek fresh mandate from the people, citing frustrations from the members of the county assembly who are plotting to paralyze operations in the county by impeaching several of our county executive members and the chief officers. Stanley Lugari has more.
As the politics of power continue to take center stage in Meru County, Governor Kawira Mwangaza now says she's in full support of calls to have the county government annulled by a number of civil organizations who have lined up to put the ever-growing indifference between the county executive and MCS to rest by calling on the president to dissolve the county.
Nataka kusema ya kwamba kuna organizations nyingi ambazo wameanza kukusanya signatures after kuona ya kwamba kuna njia ama mwelekeo ambao wajumbe wetu wa assembly wamechukua ambao sio mzuri sana, wakaona ni vyema watafute signatures ndio waweze ku dissolve the county government of Meru. Na mimi kama gavana nimesema ya kwamba wafanye vile wanaona kunafaa, wakiona hiyo ndio njia ambayo mwananchi atapata usaidizi mimi kama gavana nitawasupport.
Mwangaza noted that she is ready and willing to seek fresh mandate from the people of Meru, citing frustrations from estranged members of county assembly who are now plotting to paralyze operations in the county for the third time by impeaching at least 8 county executive council members, 3 chief officers and the chief of staff.
Uongozi ni Mungu upeana, na Mungu akiona ninafaa kuongoza tena atanipatia, na kwangu nimefanya kazi kabisa mwaka mmoja na usumbufu mwingi sana. Hakuna gavana ambaye amekuwa impeached mara 3 kwa mwaka mmoja.
Governor Mwangaza says she is in support of a number of organizations which have embarked on a mission to collect signatures to dissolve the Meru County so as to seek re-election of the whole county leadership to allow residents be served, having been ranked among the top 10 best performing counties in the country.
Na pamoja na mateso ambayo nimepata, nimeweza kufanya kazi Meru, nikakuwa ranked among the best top 10 governors in Kenya, na nikafanya absorption ya budget to the tune of 72%, ambayo ilikuwa ni ngumu sana kwangu kwa sababu ya mateso mengi.
Stanley Lugaria, Lookuptv.
Thank you so much, Stanley, for that news bulletin. The bottom-up transformation agenda will take a period of time before its results are felt and seen. This according to President William RUTO, who was speaking during the opening of a 2-day national executive retreat at the Edge Convention Center in South Sea, Nairobi, a retreat set to deliberate on measures of improving the government workforce. During the session, the Chief of Staff Felix Kosgei, emphasized on the need for the executive to work collectively in order to achieve the needed results.
This team has gelled into one team. As a result, I have no doubt in my mind that the task that has been given to us by the people of Kenya, we shall be able to appropriate and we shall be able to discharge.
For us to make a true account of the progress we are making in leading the nations towards realizing this transformative vision, we must first hold ourselves individually and collectively accountable.
Your Excellency, let me assure you of our loyalty and commitment and our availability at all times to help you through, in recognition that you have a 5-year contract with the people of Kenya that will be subject to renewal on good performance and termination if there is non-performance.
As the country continues to experience heavy rainfall, where the government is in a rush of efforts to cushion Kenyans through the distribution of relief food to the affected families across the 47 counties. Launching the program in Tana River County, Labor and Social Protection CS Florence Bore has said that even as the floods get worse, the food donation will help the locals during these difficult times, and called on the locals to ensure the food is distributed fairly for all to benefit.
Residents of Kiwanjani area in Wabera Ward, Isiolo County, are a worried lot following mass destruction of their homes, roads and farms by flood waters from the upper regions of the neighboring Meru County. Wabera Ward Member of County Assembly Salesio Kiambi visited the affected residents and assured them of steadfast interventions by the government to provide relief food for the affected families by the government, and also seek emergency funding to enable a contractor to start road repair works and channel flood waters away from the homes.
Kuja na county secretary ametuambia saa hii anaenda kutafuta emergency fund ili atafuta contractor atengeneze hiyo barabara, ndio hiyo barabara isilete maji.
In Tana River County, government has begun distribution of food to the flood hit families, targeting 24,000 children, 6,000 households. Labor and Social Protection CS Florence Bore, officially launching the program, says even as the floods gets worse, the food will help the locals during the harsh times, and called on locals to ensure the food is distributed fairly for all to benefit.
Hizo vitu yote ambayo tumeleta, tutagawa kwa zile sub counties ambao ziko Tana River. Tutachukua kule madogo, hola na bura. Kwa hivyo chakula inawatosha. Kitu tunataka kuomba ni kwamba mkichukua hiyo chakula, mchukue kwa utaratibu ndio tuweze kurudi tena mara nyingine kuwasaidia.
Reports indicate that over 66,000 people have been affected by the disaster, but the Kenya Red Cross Society fears the numbers will rise as the situation in Tana Delta has been worsening. Elsewhere, transport services may be disrupted along Mombasa-Malindi Highway due to heavy rainfall that continues, that has filled and begun to pass over the road, with motor vehicle users urging the contractors to provide alternative routes.
Tulikuwa tunaambiwa kwa kweli wenye kushughulika hawakuwa tayari. Maana daraja hii ama sehemu hii inaitwa kwa Kazengo ni sehemu ambayo wakati mvua ikiwa nyingi kunakuwa na shida nyingi.
Aludagail for Lookuptv.
On a sad note now, a cloud of grief has engulfed the Shiasala market in Butere constituency, Kakamega County, after a 38-year-old man took his own life by hanging himself with a rope inside his own shop months after his wife's departure. As Ivy Wangulu now reports, the suicide has been attributed to depression.
It is an incident that left area residents shocked and in disbelief after the body of Nicholas Ahonya was discovered inside his shop. Ahonya's body was discovered by his father, Peter Ahonya, who became suspicious after he failed to see his son for 3 days.
Kijana wangu nimempata kana asubuhi leo kama amekufa. Nikapata duka imefunga for about siku 3 hivi.
Prompting him to check on his whereabouts at his local shop, only to find his body hanging inside the shop with a cable wrapped on his neck. According to his father, Nicholas has been having stressful days for the months after prolonged conflict that led to his wife's departure. A seemingly sad Ahonya says his son would spend days at home crying after the incident, and any money he got from work will get dissolved in alcohol.
Nilipokuja na spare key, nikaenda nikafungua. Na mimi nikaenda kuangalia hapo nyuma, nikapata mlango ilikuwa iko wazi. So nilipofungua kitu ya kwanza kuona ilikuwa ni mtoto amehangwa kwa kamba, yani kwa waya ile ya stima. Chanzo cha kifo chake amekuwa na msongo wa mawazo vile bibi aliwachana naye almost a month ago. Sasa vile bibi alitoka akamwachia note akisema usinitafute.
Those close to Nicholas described him as a skilled artisan who interacted well with people. Butere Police Chief Julius Kipto, while confirming the incident, called upon young people to always seek advice from elders instead of resorting to suicide.
Alikuwa jamaa tabia mzuri, jamaa mpole sana, ana maneno, ukimuita na kuongelesha kama jamaa ambaye anakujua. Hata wakati bibi yake walikuwa nagombana, nikawaambia hapana, kaeni kwa amani.
Na rais wetu ametufia sana. Juu mtu anafika mahali anapata maisha yamekuwa magumu. Mwanaenda kushare na yeye pia analia. Hata ikabidi kama kila mtu analia, solution ni gani? Ni hiyo tu.
Ivy Wangulu, Lookuptv.
Indeed, it is very depressing to have such cases of depressing having on our youth. And that story by Ivy Wangulu takes us on a short break right here on Lookuptv. Stay around. We are coming with much more.
Karibu mtazamaji kwenye kipindi cha jamii na itikadi.
Kaini kitako tuna mengi.
Mapenzi yanapoanza watu huitana bebi na majina mengine matamu, lakini baadaye penzi linapogeuka na kuwa shubiri,
mtu anafikia kwenda kumtafuta mke mwingine.
Itakuwaje?
Yule wa kwake nyumbani labda hajamridhisha.
Ni sawa ama vipi Maliki?
Dadangu, wanaume ni kama maembe.
Huyu ni mwanamume atakuja abadiliki.
Mwanaume mwenye wanawake wengi hata katika uchumba, kwenye ndoa ataendelea. Mtu na tabia yake hawachi. Ile umbo la kike likishaanza, kila kitu kishaanza kuwa mahali pake.
Ningependa kukuona.
Sijaenda mahali ambapo mimi nilisikia mtu ati huyu alikuwa shujaa, alikufa katika mstari wa mbele wa ndoa. Sijawahi sikia mimi.
Infinity Industrial Park is one of the largest private industrial parks located along Eastern Bypass, Nairobi, which provides modern infrastructure for smooth operations for industries and business enterprises. Infinity Industrial Park offers world-class amenities and facilities with wide roads, a police station, a power substation, fire station, public transport stage, hospital, and shopping mall. In addition, Infinity Industrial Park also offers CCTV cameras, 24-hour private armed security patrol, sewer, water, fiber optic cable, and 3-phase power connection, added to public utility, canteen, and dining areas. Sail on the golden opportunity to invest in Infinity Industrial Park, fully serviced warehouses at a special price of 3,569 Kenyan shillings per square foot. For more inquiries, visit our website infinityindustrialpark.com.
Welcome back to the program. The Kenya National Union of Nurses and the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers Kajiado branch have issued a 7-day strike notice citing violation of their rights by their employer. The union's officials say despite the continuous outcry by the county government, Department of Health, their grievances have been ignored, blaming the Health Department for unfair promotion and designation of health staff, saying some medics who have worked for many years stagnate in one job group, whereas some newly employed medics have been promoted twice since employment.
Citing poor working condition and fair promotion among other reasons, medics from Kajiado County have threatened to down their tool if their grievances are not addressed, blaming the health department for their woes, with some of the staff lamenting over having worked for many years without promotions.
Tumekuwa na dialogue for a very long time, na sasa I think inafikanga kati pia punda anachoka. Na hapa ambapo imefika sasa, tumeamua hizi masiku zimebaki, tunaenda tu kuambia wagonjwa wetu ya kwamba kuanzia tarehe 21 na tarehe 20 kuanzia tarehe 20 na tarehe 21 tunaenda mgomo kama hatutakuwa tumekamilishiwa mahitaji yetu hayo matatu.
The union's officials led by Clinical Officer Alfred Santella says that despite their continuous outcry to the county government, their pleas fell on deaf ears while faulting the department for not remitting statutory deduction despite deducting the amount from their pay slips.
Na sababu yetu kuja hapa leo ni kwa sababu ya mambo na changamoto ambazo zinakumba wafanyikazi wa kitengo ama department ya health. Kama siku 10 zilizopita tumepeana strike notice ya kueleza kwamba kuna mambo ambazo zisipozingatiwa ifikapo wiki ijayo sisi hatutaweza kuwa kazini kwa sababu ya zile changamoto. Na changamoto ambazo zimetajwa katika ile barua, moja ni issue ya promotion and resignations, na ya pili ni mambo ya shortage, na ya tatu ni kwa mambo ya uzeeni. Kuna deductions ambazo zinafanyika katika department ya payroll kama wafanyikazi na hayafiki kwenye inafaa kufika.
In addition, they also accuse the county for overworking nurses and clinical officers across the vast county, despite the shortage of medical staff, forcing some of the medics to work without taking their off days. Winlight Chapruha, Lookuptv. Solidarity forever.
The Kirinyaga County government has taken a significant step into the digital era of healthcare by implementing a health information management system at Kerugoya Level 5 Hospital. This system aims at streamlining the collection of patient information and closely monitor the distribution of medicines, marking a crucial move towards embracing technology in the health sector.
Thank you very much.
This initiative is part of the Kirinyaga County government's commitment to improving efficiency and service delivery within hospitals, with Governor Anne Waiguru emphasizing the pivotal role this system will play not only in Kerugoya Level 5 Hospital but also in the broader healthcare infrastructure. The government plans to extend similar systems to other Level 4 hospitals in the region.
This is a demonstration that we are committed to putting in place sound health systems that ensure that our people access affordable and comprehensive care, ranging from disease prevention, treatment, and rehabilitation.
Elsewhere, hundreds of residents in dry, arid areas of West Pokot County have benefited from a free medical camp on ailments including neglected tropical diseases, courtesy of the Drugs for Neglected Diseases Initiative, a research organization in partnership with Rotary International and West Pokot County government. West Pokot is among counties with many cases of Kala-Azar, with more than 700 cases reported every year, it being the second most fatal parasitic killer after malaria.
Wapokoti wamekuja kwa wingi sana. Hata wale hawafiki kila mara mahospitali ndio wamefika hapa leo. Kwa vile wamesikia kuna dawa ya bure, wanapeana bure na serikali. Kwa hivyo nikaomba sana serikali ya county ikipitia governor wote wajaribu walete dawa hapa. Pengine kwa mara moja kwa mwezi.
Finally, in a recent workshop in Embu, representatives from the deaf community expressed concerns about the discomfort many face when communicating sensitive issues, but particularly related to reproductive health, with healthcare professionals through interpreters. The society highlighted the need for doctors to undergo training on sign language to bridge the gap and ensure privacy.
One of the key opinions that we can do to handle this challenge is to teach, or rather to train the healthcare workers on sign language, making it a very key element in health delivery.
Bridget Agola, Lookuptv.
Rising Starlets will play Cameroon side tomorrow at the Nyayo Stadium in the 2024 World Cup in Colombia. Belda and Odemba side lost 3-0 in the first leg, which was played in Yaoundé, Cameroon. Our sports reporter Ruth Washeke with more.
Kenya's Rising Starlets suffered a 3-0 loss against Cameroon in the first leg match of the third round of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup qualifiers in Cameroon last Saturday. Starlets, under the guidance of Beldine Odemba, will now host Cameroon in the return leg at Nyayo Stadium tomorrow, and Beldine is hopeful her charges will record a good performance.
There's always pressure to perform. There's always pressure to do well and give good results. But I wouldn't say that I feel pressure. I will just say that we are working well and doing our best to get the best results we can get tomorrow.
The team needs to score at least 4 goals and avoid conceding in order to move to the final round and face either Congo or Egypt. The players now urge their fans to come out in large numbers for support tomorrow at Nyayo Stadium.
Fans tunaomba wajitokeze wakuja tupe hiyo support, at least tutakuwa na moral tukiona wamejitokeze kwa wingi. Wasifeel ati imeisha, wakuje kesho na indi zitaamua. Reporting for Lookup Sports, I'm Ruth Washeke.
The National Sevens head coach Kelvin Wambua has unveiled Shujaa ahead of this weekend's Safari Sevens at the Roof Fair grounds. Defending champions Shujaa and Morans will complete the men's competition, with Lionesses and Cubs flying the Kenyan flag in the women's competition. Vincent Onyala and Tony Omondi co-captain the Shujaa side, which features Aman Humwa, John Okoth, Samuel Asati, among others. Shujaa are in pool alongside Red Whalers, Uganda, SA, and All Stars and Tropic. And that is it from our desk tonight. Many thanks for watching. For these and other stories, you can follow us on our socials at Lookuptv. My name is John Matava. Our sign language interpreter tonight has been Philista Dundo. And many thanks to those who made this bulletin a success. Meanwhile, have a good night. See you then.